Well, next week it certainly won't be spring. It may not quite feel like temperature spring, but consider it's going to be like a 20-30 jump in temperatures. It's really going to feel quite a warm up too as we get towards the second half of next week, as we get out of this deep freeze, which has lasted about 2 weeks for the most part, staying below 32 degrees for a high temperature. If you're wondering if that's anywhere close to record, it isn't. We've spent sometimes 40 to 45 days below 32, so that you'd have to get that high to even get into the mention of the top 10. So we have one push of cold air tonight, this little Arctic push here that's swinging south. This will actually be tied to the nor'easter you probably hear about on the news for the East Coast. Once that pushes east, then we're just going to be kind of in a northwest-west flow, which means we're going to remain active through the weekend and next week, but it's more of a seasonal or mild condition. As you can see, we get some push of milder air from the Pacific, and the Arctic air has pushed well to the north into the poles and even on the other side of the globe too. This will continue all of next week with, I think, the warmest temperatures coming towards maybe Thursday and Friday before we get another system that pulls in. Looks like a little bit cooler air next weekend, but for right now, that doesn't look to be too cold yet. But we're going to see at least a reprieve from it. Overall, you see conditions up to north. Here's where the wind chills still are the worst you can see. And there is a little bit of drifting you can kind of see on the roadways there with a little bit of gusty winds too across the interstate. You might see some of that too overnight. Don't expect any snow with it. It's just going to see the winds. And overall big picture shows here's that disturbance pushing to the south. There's a frontal system out to the west that's going to stay there, but it's actually separating the warmer, more Pacific air to the west in the mountain areas to what we've been dealing with, more of the Arctic air for the last week and a half. Here's what you're going to overnight. We're going to see this cloud cover continue to push east. There will be temporary clearing off and on for areas, and you can see the wind chills. This is when they're going to be probably bad, 15 to 20 as we go throughout the morning time frame. Given that wind could be 10 to 15, maybe a little bit stronger at times. On and off low cloud cover will continue to push across the area. Wind chills won't see much of an improvement till we get to about noon, 10 to 15. And then in the afternoon, more low clouds developing with all this cold air coming to the south. But the wind chills will actually improve as our temperatures get up into the low teens. The winds will still be there all afternoon and eventually begin to decrease towards the evening. We're not going to quite lose that low cloud cover probably until Saturday morning. These are your low temperatures tonight. Not quite as bad as what we saw last night, given the cloud cover and the winds. Of course, the wind chill will be the factor tomorrow morning. Temperatures getting up pretty similar to what we saw today, maybe a degree or two difference depending on location. Still about 10 degrees below average. Saturday, we start seeing changes here. We get lighter winds, sunshine in the afternoon, some low clouds in the morning, but all in all, pretty nice day considered what we've dealt with. To see 20 there finally above 0.2 for a change. And then going into Sunday, getting close to average. The wind turns out the southwest. That does mean we have a system that's going to come through, and that involves some light snow. Not expecting a significant amount. You time it out, you're going to wake up Sunday morning with south winds. Overall, it's going to be mild overnight compared to what we've had lately. But then the snow will begin to approach the area probably by about noon. Sweep through the area. Light snow, not expecting a heavy snow right at any time. Maybe an inch or two at the most. It'll get out of here probably Sunday evening before midnight. As the winds turn around to the northwest, they could pick up a little bit, so you might see a little bit of that drifting snow too, but not expecting breezy conditions. Once that passes, then we got good conditions all of next week, but we still do have some snow chances going on Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursday, Friday. It just depends. We're going to be right on the storm track or near it, so any of these systems coming by could give us some snow. We could warm up all the way to 31, 32 Friday, but there are signs that we're going to kind of flip a little bit towards next weekend. As I showed earlier, we might get back a little colder next weekend or the week after. But nothing like we've had right now, but we might hit 32, but I'm getting a little less confident we might just because we have cloud cover in the way.
Oh boy. All right.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Definitely it's going to be much better than what we've had lately. So
there we go.
Yes.
Thanks, Greg.